Linda Elter, the President and a Fellow of the Foundation for Critical Thinking. The mission of the Center and Foundation for Critical Thinking is ultimately to help foster fair-minded critical societies. For more than 30 years, we have been working toward the development of a rich, integrated, Socratic rather than sophistic conception of critical thinking, one that can be contextualized in potentially any field of study, one that leads us closer to the emancipation of all people across the world. You will find us to be a diverse, eclectic group of primarily educators and scholars, and we welcome all to work along with us in pursuing the ideals of critical thinking. Critical thinking needs to be contextualized in potentially every field, subject, discipline, and domain of human life. It needs to be fostered across every discipline, across every profession, across every grade level, across every institution in the world. We appreciate the role you are playing and will play in this process. Bertrand Russell is one of the most influential 20th century philosophers. In his work, he emphasized the importance of open and free inquiry. He stressed the critical need to create education systems that foster fair-minded pursuit of knowledge and warns of the dangers inherent in dogmatic ideologies. He says, and I quote, "The world that I should wish to see would be one free from the virulence of group hostilities and capable of realizing that happiness for all is to be derived rather from cooperation than from strife. I should wish to see a world in which education aimed at mental freedom rather than imprisoning the minds of the young in a rigid armor of dogma calculated to protect them through life against the shafts of impartial evidence. The world needs open hearts and open minds, and it is not through rigid systems, whether old or new, that these can be derived." In his book, Portraits from Memory, Reflections on My 80th Birthday, Russell comments on the long-term nature of change and the importance of moving ever closer toward the creation of critical societies. He says, "Beneath all this load of failure, I am still conscious of something that I feel to be victory. I may have conceived theoretical truth wrongly, but I was not wrong in thinking that there is such a thing and that it deserves our allegiance. I may have thought the road to a world of free and happy human beings shorter than it is proving to be, but I was not wrong in thinking that such a world is possible and that it is worthwhile to live with a view to bringing it nearer. I have lived in the pursuit of a vision, both personal and social. Personal, to care for what is noble, for what is beautiful, for what is gentle, to allow moments of insight, to give wisdom at more mundane times. Social, to see in imagination the society that is to be created, where individuals grow freely and where hate and greed and envy die because there's nothing to nourish them. These things I believe, and the world, for all its horrors, has left me unshaken." End quote. Bertrand Russell's thoughts and writings on social issues are intimately linked with our conception of fair-minded critical societies, the conception we aim at in all of our scholarship.